Anything. Couldn't back a thing, Jessica, and I'll just bring this shirt back. It's about all I've got left. Coming up on Sports Tonight, of course, all the celebrations from the Melbourne Cup, if you're a winner, including Bart Cummings, his Cup runneth over. Rogan Josh, his 11th Melbourne Cup winner. Here and tonight, Melbourne is taking a well-earned rest after the Cup of 1999. The Cup that once again belongs to Bart Cummings. Hello, I'm Matthew White. Welcome to Sports Tonight and a complete wrap-up of another day of turf history. Well, the aftermath has been quite frantic. Tonight, the stewards have had their say on one of the roughest races in years, so we've got plenty of late news to tell you about there. We'll be following the celebrations.
Bart's got his 11th Cup. Rogan Josh has won the Cup. John Marshall and Bart Cummings have beaten Central Park.
The Cup's king you can always count on is just about running out of fingers. It was rough and tumble, but in the end, the man Flemington loves sealed another one with a kiss. Bart Cummings, he's done it again at the Foster's Melbourne Cup.
It was quite an incredible day, and tonight, in his typical style, Bart Cummings shunned the spotlight and the crowds and opted for a quiet meal with his friends. This is the celebration tonight as Bart Cummings enjoyed a record-breaking 11th Melbourne Cup victory. You know, when Lee Friedman and the boys get together, they really turn it on. Well, Bart Cummings and co do it a little bit differently. Tonight, that's Wendy Green taking the cup on over to Bart and his connections at the Flower Drum restaurant in the middle of the city, and plenty of celebrations. And of course, there's only one thing to do when you win the Melbourne Cup. It is a great trophy, whack some champagne in it and have a good old drink out of the champagne. So the Melbourne Cup belongs to Wendy Green. She's a Darwin school teacher, and $1.8 million in prize money. The richest race in Australia goes to a Darwin school teacher. The connections enjoying. Bart Cummings, of course, took over this horse after seeing it for the first time on January the 1st this year in the Perth Cup. Then it was sent across the other side of the country, and Bart Cummings took over and turned it into an absolute champion.
The Melbourne Cup again, it was a very dramatic one. Here's Danny Malecki one more time.
Up, set for the Foster's Melbourne Cup 1999. Racing. Sky Heights jumped away well down on the inside. Yavana's Pace jumped away fairly. Further out on the track, Rogan Josh began nicely, and so too did Brew. Second, Cummings, Bell. The message going forward in the early part of the race, and they were followed by Central Park. He's right off the track. Tie the knots about middle of the field, and Zembuan is going up towards the leaders with Lahar as they race onto the course proper. 2,800 metres to go, and the Warrior's going to work across in front. The Warrior leads now from Rogan Josh out wide. Central Park is handy, and then the message. Next is Zembuan, then Bell. Tie the knots up, racing about 7th or 8th on the outside of second Cumming. Then came the hind on the rails. Wide out was Yavana's Pace around Arena. Then Lahar, travel mate on the fence. Sky Heights is worse than midfield from Able Master. Brew Arena's out 4 wide. Then Streak Rebor. Skybo next, and Marat Poor as they chop and change with a slackening of the speed beyond midfield. Figureheads wide, leaving the straight. Labille had to go back from her wide draw, and then Lady Elsie and Bohemoth down on the inside as they leave the straight. He would be about 18 lengths off the lead. Central Park goes to the lead now for Frankie Dettori, and leads by a length and a half on Rogan Josh. Over on the inside third is the Warrior, a length and a half to the message. Zembuan 5th on the inside, 2 lengths to Zarzabel. Then the hind beautifully placed on the inside of second Cumming. Out wide was Tie the Knot, now around Lahar and Travel Mates on the rails. Then Yavana's Pace outside Sky Heights, who's one off the fence. Next is Rabor, then Able Master. Arena 3 deep from Marat Poor, Brew, Skybo Streak, Bohemoth Figurehead. Labille second last, and Lady Elsie at the tail end of the field, and must be 15 to 18 lengths off the lead. They're at the halfway mark, 1,600 to go. And Central Park leads by a length now. The message into second spot. The Warrior third, a length back to Rogan Josh fourth. 2 lengths Zembuan is fifth, another length away Zarzabel. Then the hind on the rails, a half away, then a second Coming. Travel Mate next from the grey Lahar. Then came Sky Heights on the inside of Tie the Knot. A length away Yavana's Pace midfield from Arena. Then came Rabor. Able Master Marat Poor. Brew next, and then Bohemoth. Back on the rails was Skybo, and towards the tail end we have Labille, and at the rear of the field is Lady Elsie as they work to the back. They've got 1,000 metres left to go in the Foster's Melbourne Cup, and Central Park is the leader. The message is second, the Warrior third, Rogan Josh was fourth, then Zarzabel, Zembuan the inside, the hind in the centre, another length away second coming from Travel Mate. Tie the Knots about 5 lengths off the lead. Next is Laha, Sky Heights on the rails. Around them wide was Rebor, and they were followed by Yavana's Pace. Marit Paul making a dash around the outside was Brew, and also figurehead wide. Well back was Arena coming to the turn from Bohemoth, and then came well back was Lady Elsie to the bend. Skybo, Yavana's Pace. There's one that's lost the rider there coming to the home bend. Could well have been it. Yavana's Pace as they turn for home. Laybeals back last at Central Park in front. Zazabel going up on the outside. The Warrior on the rails, and Travelmate getting a run through. Central Park's in front of Rogan Josh. Travelmate getting a run behind, trying to come through. Rogan Josh going up to Central Park. Down on the inside, the Warrior, Zazabel, then Lahar and second coming. Central Park, Rogan Josh. Down on the inside was the Warrior. It's Central Park and Rogan Josh. Rogan Josh, the outside part's got his 11th cup. Rogan Josh has won the cup. John Marshall and Bart Cummings have beaten Central Park. Could go for third with Zazabel. Travelmate, the Warrior.
Our international viewers, well, only some of you leave us now. To you, we hope you've enjoyed the Melbourne Cup of '99. The rest of you, from Moreton Base to Kathmandu, come back after this and we'll take you through the final hour.
Constantly into the running rail. Shane Dye would push Tie the Knot forward but never get closer than 3 wide.
Tie the Knot's up racing about 7th or 8th on the outside of second coming. Then came the Hind on the rails. Wide out was Yavana's Pace around Arena. Then Laha, Travelmate on the fence. Sky Heights is worse than midfield from Able Master. Brew Arena's out 4 wide.
Frankie Dettori would say later he got away with murder, dictating a muddling pace in front. John Marshall and Rogan Josh would stalk the leader and sweat.
They've got 1,000 metres left to go in the Foster's Melbourne Cup, and Central Park is the leader. The Message is second, the Warrior third, Rogan Josh was fourth. Then Zazabel, Zabwan the inside, the Hind in the centre. Another length away second coming from Travelmate. Tie the Knot's about 5 lengths off the lead.
Trouble came before the home turn when Grant Cooksley was dislodged from Able Master, suffering concussion and taken to hospital.
Central Park's in front of Rogan Josh. Travelmate getting a run behind, trying to come through.
The most ugly and severe incident would be suffered by the Hind, as he and Travelmate battled for the same run between the leaders 200 from home. Out of trouble, Rogan Josh let down at the clock tower and getting the better of Central Park.
Central Park, Rogan Josh. Down on the inside was the Warrior. It's Central Park and Rogan Josh. Rogan Josh, the outside part's got his 11th cup. Rogan Josh has won the cup.
Mate, it's a dream come true. There's no question about it. It's every jockey's dream to finally do it. It hasn't sunk in, but I know it's building.
So the official numbers were 17-2 and a dead heat for third, 12 and 24. Let's take a look at the official divvies. These are the Victorian figures. Rogan Josh paid $6 the win, $2.10 the place. Central Park was very handy, $16.40 the place. And of course the dead heat for third, Lahar paying $11.60 and Zazabel returning $6. The Quinella paid $308.50. And either way, the trifecta was big time. For 17, 2 and 12, more than $19,000. For 17, 2 and 24, close to 13 grand. Now the daily double paid $34.90 and the quaddie $2,229.40. And I do hope that you've backed a winner. And with all that money at stake, the adrenaline was pumping as Rogan Josh walked back to the yard. You know, Bart Cummings isn't one to show his emotions on race day, nor for that matter is John Marshall. But like every cup, it was a stirring moment.
Oh, steady! No! Give it a light fingers, a nose from Dreamer. Third is Midlander there.
You're a freak, Bart. I mean, honestly, there's people here that are thinking, how in the heck did Bart Cummings get this horse to win a Melbourne Cup?
I can't believe it myself.
And the Galilee, a big winner. Camera for second, light fingers second.
I'm the happiest man on the course, I reckon. It's terrific, yes.
Wasn't much emotion, though, when victory was there. Getting used to it?
I suppose after years you calm down a little, you know. I'm more excited now I've been for a couple of months.
And so too, owner Wendy Green and jockey John Marshall.
A fortnight ago, I didn't even have a cup ride, and and then I was on Rule Lopez, and he went amiss, so to win the cup's just a dream.
For a school teacher from Darwin, racing gold was a fairy tale come true.
And it happened to be us. Makes me absolutely Wendy in Wonderland.
And you believe she's the second time she's driven from Darwin all the way to Melbourne to see this horse win the last month. That's the sort of Australians we got owning horses in Australia, and she's one of the best.
Has it really hit you yet?
It won't hit me. I don't think until tomorrow, until I'm driving back to Darwin, until I'm sitting in the car with Robert and so now, did we really win that cup?
Another Bart Cummings victory.
Now you can see Sky Heights in the blue and gold checks. Now watch him here. Crash, bang. He was lucky to stay on his feet there. And look at all the subsequent interference that's been caused. Whereabouts are you, Stevie, at the moment?
I'm just back behind Sky Heights on the outside of him in the green cap.
And there are a couple of other bits of interference here. Lady Elsie copped a really bad check. You just saw the backwash of that. Figurehead was also in trouble. Tie the Knot was out 3 deep for the entire trip. Able Master, of course, lost Grant Cooksley over by the half mile, the 800 metres. And you just missed that?
Yeah, I just missed that, actually. Grant fell in front of me and Jace Patton just nicked up on the inside of him, and I just had to ease a little bit and come to the inside to avoid him, unfortunately.
I doubt that you quite enjoyed the experience for the 3.5 minutes of the Melbourne Cup, but what was the build-up to the race like?
The build-up's fantastic. The atmosphere is unbelievable. I mean, the amount of people here at Flemington today is just fantastic. So, unfortunately, the race is just a little bit rough, but the atmosphere is fantastic.
That's your first one, mate. You'll have many more. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much, Peter.
Stephen Baster, who rode Leigh Beale in that Roughhouse Melbourne Cup.
Racing in the Cup.
Light fingers, a nose from Dreamer. Moved up and have gone to the lead inside the final furlong from Light Fingers. You are Venium, but it's all Galilee, and Galilee stretching right out, wins the cup for South Australia. The Galilee a big winner, camera for second, Light Fingers line together, red-handed, another Bart Cummings victory. Red-handed first, big.
Leilani is getting 2 Battle Heights, and on the outside, Captain Perry. Leilani just in front, Think Big is picking it up down the outside, and Think Big has got up to win the cup. Think Big has won. Leilani is second. Has raced up to this leader now with about 200 metres left to go, and Think Big has got to the front from Medici. Down the outside is Holiday Wagon, but Think Big is the leader. Holiday Wagon is coming home well, followed by Medici. Then Suleiman can't win, but Think Big wins. In second place is Holiday Wagon.
Golden Black and Nick in front. Reckless is taking him back, but Golden Black hanging on to the lead, and it's the favourite cup. Golden Black 1.5 lengths to Reckless. High Perno is joining him down the outside. High Perno on the outside, and Salamander, High Perno, Salamander. They hit the bunny finish. Nearly a dead heat between High Perno and Salamander. Nearly a dead heat between the pair of them. 50 Kingston Rule took the lead from the Phantom, getting up on the inside. It's Kingston Rule. The Phantom followed by Mr. Brooker. Kingston Rule in front. Kingston Rule wins the Melbourne Cup. Kingston Rule a length, and Alderhebs and Magnolia Hall superimposed. But the favourite has raced away in the Melbourne Cup. It's Let's Alive. This right there has raced away from Ivory Way, superimposed, and then Magnolia Hall. And Shiva's Revenge, but Let's Alive has won the Melbourne Cup. Let's Alive by 2 lengths. Baby Shiva's Revenge struggling, then Count Shivers. A long gap in the field for the back. Skybow, no Oscar today. Tightly in front of the 150. Bart Cummings might have his 10 Melbourne Cup. Saintly's gone 2 lengths. Count Shivers